Well, welcome to another edition of Show After the Show. I'm Rob Dempsey. We get to know the people that make this community so great. Dr. Aimee Duffy is along with us with Carolina Integrative Medicine. I'm so glad you're with us. I understand that you grew up around faith and technology in one household.
Yeah, combining them together. Absolutely.
So your dad was a Lutheran priest in
He
Texas,
was
right?
a Lutheran pastor, yep, in Houston, Texas.
Okay, so your mom was a software engineer. I'm going to take a wild guess here of who she worked for. I'm thinking NASA.
Not quite there. No.
No.
She worked for McKesson, though. You might hear the term McKesson in healthcare. Actually, interestingly, when I was in high school, she started writing software for electronic medical records for emergency rooms with McKesson company. So little did I know that I was going to be using electronic medical records, daily.
That is
Kind of interesting.
fascinating. Did that kind of influence you a little bit?
No, I had no idea
No?
really what she was doing at that moment.
You
But I
just knew she
remember,
was into
I
something.
remember the conversation and going to her office and seeing the whiteboard and all the things that they would be, trying to accomplish to help emergency rooms. That's what the big thing was for her back then, was helping emergency room kind of track patients and where
Mhm.
patients were and what their status was, that sort of stuff. So I
Well,
remember being intrigued by it, but I'm not sure it was, oh, I want to do that when I grow up kind of thing.
yeah, not at that point in life. That's
Not
not
quite
when the
yet.
decision was made. Now, softball was like a big part of your life from fourth grade until medical school. Is that right?
Yeah. So I started playing, the rec league in fourth grade and then started as a 10 and under. So probably either that summer or the next summer in travel ball in the summertime where you play tournaments, and just played that through high school, and then on to college. Got a softball scholarship at Texas Lutheran University, and outside of San Antonio, in a little town called Seguin. So played softball there. And then in medical school, they had, in San Antonio, Texas, big city. So there was a lot of
Mhm.
softball leagues and things like that. So my medical school had, signups to, hey, play on our slow pitch softball team. So I got involved in that too. It was
You're a
fun.
baby. You're a babysitting at the age of 11, and I think that's when things started to click for you that there was something you wanted to do with the rest of your life.
Yeah. So I loved kids. I went to a little pancake breakfast in our neighborhood, and there was this, squishy Michelin baby, just sitting in the playground, about 8 months old. And I just started playing with him. I was so intrigued by him. And the mom said, "Hey, do you babysit?" And I said, "Well, I'm only 11. I don't know if I'm allowed to." And so I started just going over to her house and kind of playing with baby while she could get some things done. And that was the older sister of this family. And so throughout my adolescence, basically, I started babysitting for that family. Then her sister had kids, and I babysat for them. And so that story goes, when I was 17, they were ready to have baby number 3 in their family, and invited me to be in the birthing room with them, in the delivery room. And that was just the most amazing experience. It was Thanksgiving night. I lived in Boulder, Colorado at the time. It was starting to snow. I got the phone call about 9:30. It was time to get to the hospital. And so I rushed over there, and little did I know that it wasn't quite ready to happen yet. There was a long period of her birthing and laboring in the bathtub, walking up and down the hall. She had a doula that was, massaging, things like that. And so I just kind of was in awe of the whole thing. And then it was time. And so I was kind of up above the head watching the action happening. And I just remember when the baby was placed on her chest, and I thought, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. This is what I want to do. I'm going to be delivering babies.
That was a
So that's what I did.
defining moment for you.
Yeah, it was very, very inspiring for sure. And so I pushed on, went to college, medical school, and picked a residency here in South Carolina that was specific to obstetrics, so that I could deliver babies. That's what I wanted to do.
And now you've opened a practice about 10 years ago. You're going strong with it.
Yeah. So I don't deliver babies anymore, but what I find that I transitioned into women's health, really, because if you're not delivering babies, you're taking care of women in that field. And really got into a lot of hormone issues, especially about 20 years ago. There's big controversy with, hormone replacement. And I really felt like there had to be a way to help without the risk. And I started doing some research and happened upon bioidentical hormones. I had no idea what that was, never taught about that before. And so learning more about balancing, finding out what's wrong, what's out of balance, what's deficient, and then replacing it back to what we call normal. And women started feeling better without, drugs and without side effects and things like that. So that really transitioned into not just hormone health, but really that's how the whole body works, whether we're talking about the gut or the heart or the brain. Any aspect is just what's out of balance, what's deficient, and how we can fix it to get back to normal. So I always say I started my career bringing life into the world, and now I feel like I kind of restore life back again.
That's good. Oh, I love that because you help so many people. You
Yeah.
have 5 pillars of health for
Yes.
educating. What are
Yeah, we
some of
talk
them?
about the 5 pillars of health. So the first pillar is detox. And I think about it from a big picture perspective. So, we're in an environment where there's just chemicals. You can't really help it, even if you're trying really hard. We're breathing air, we're drinking water. Of course, our food has a lot of chemicals. If we're taking medications, lots of chemicals. And your liver is a filter. It's got to deal with all that stuff, just like the lint catcher in your dryer is a filter, and it's got to take care of that lint. If you don't clean it out every once in a while, it's not going to be as efficient as possible. So that's kind of step one. But then I think about we've got to detox in other ways. So leads to gut health. If you've got some bugs in there that aren't supposed to be there, or even detoxing from stress sometimes. We really do a lot of mindset work here. I have a health coach. So what's toxic in your life, whether it's real chemicals or whether it's, stress, something else. So we've got to detox. So that's number one. We start building that foundation, because even if I'm using natural things and supplements, if your filter's not clean, it's not going to be really efficient to get the job done. So that's pillar number one. Then we move into nutrition. What do you need to do for yourself? It's not a diet. It's not labeled as keto, paleo, whatever the case is. Those are all fine for some people, but we want to figure out what's going to work best for you for the long term, so it's effective. And then we talk about fitness. We got to move.
Mhm.
We've got to burn calories. We've got to build muscle. But fitness and moving is about detoxing as well. So when we sweat, we detox, and then it also helps those endorphins in your brain. So it's a
Mm.
big picture look there. Hormones, I think hormones are super important. So whether it's your hormones we think about, like estrogen and progesterone or testosterone, insulin is a hormone. So we really deal a lot with blood sugar, insulin issues, thyroid, adrenal function with cortisol. So we address all those hormone imbalances. It may not be deficient, but just what's out of whack, and what do we need to do to fix that? And our fifth pillar is the M pillar. It's mentorship, mindset. That's where we really get into sort of the mind body connection. How do we help support you in the best way we can? It's not just see your doctor, here's your pill, see you back in 6 months and see how you're doing. We're really integrating the support system there. Accountability is big. If you're not going to do the work, it's not going to get done, and you're not going to see the results. So we incorporate all that into one person so that we can really get you back to your best optimal health.
You really invest in people. I like that you do that.
Absolutely.
You want to
Yeah.
make sure that they're going to be so good. Hey, we've
Yeah.
got the website information right here. Click on that. You'll get right through to Dr. Aimee Duffy and Carolina Integrative Medicine. There's discovery calls. You can meet in person. She does virtual visits as well. Just click on the link and you'll get right through. Dr. Aimee Duffy, thank you. This is a joy to be
Thank
with you
you.
today.
I had a great time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, me too. We'll have another edition of the show after the show coming up very soon. Again, click on the links and you'll get right on through to Dr. Aimee Duffy. Have a great week.